Hello everyone, my name is Mercedes and I'm a Research Communities Advisor at NeSI. Within my role, I am involved with the RSE-AUNZ community as a steering committee co-chair, and for those who aren't aware, the RSE-AUNZ is a community for research software engineers of Australia and New Zealand. Unfortunately, the co-authors of my presentation, Roland, Peter and Manadeep, who are also steering committee members and are based in Australia, couldn't make it to New Zealand for the conference. So I'm here to take you through the last few years to look at how we are tracking to meet our 2023 to 2025 strategy goals, opportunities that we have taken to elevate the community and community engagement. Firstly, I've got a bit of a run sheet of what I'd like to discuss with you today. From the purpose of RSEs, the strategy, the current state of the community, and moving into the challenges, reflections, engagement, and community enhancement. A lot of people don't actually know what RSEs are, including RSEs, and I think it is probably quite important to discuss this before we move on. So when I asked Copilot, it described RSEs as professionals who develop, maintain and improve software to support research and scientific discovery. They combine expertise in software engineering with an understanding of research methods to create reliable, efficient and reproducible code for academic, scientific and industrial research. So due to this broad definition, many who perform RSE work don't actually realise that they are RSEs and they operate under different job titles. We, however, see this as an opportunity to raise awareness within the community. So why am I here today? Throughout 2024, we presented at quite a few conferences, undertaking BOFs and panel discussions to get a real understanding of what the community wants and needs. We want to share what we've learned over the past few years, including insights from the BOFs and these conferences, and how we've supported or are planning to support the evolving needs of our RSEs. This presentation will highlight our progress, the impact of our work, and our plans for continued growth and engagement. So for 2023 to 2025, it was important for the steering committee to meet, discuss and create a strategy that was going to create a sustainable, inclusive and diverse community of RSEs across Australia and New Zealand that sought to strengthen the digital ecosystem. The strategic selection criteria which allowed for the strategy followed these 5 main questions. Does this help RSEs value themselves? Does this make decision makers value RSEs? Does this grow or sustain the RSE community? Does this support DEI? And does this raise awareness ethically and non-extractively? So now we can go to the goals, the strategy goals. The first is focusing on bringing the community together. To achieve this goal, we so far have had catch-ups in Melbourne, which have been involved in multiple conferences, a leaders forum and have a Google group for individuals of the community. We've also sought collaboration with other groups parallel to the RSE space and hope to speak more of these collaborations when there is a bit more finality to them. We also want to strive to promote regional representation for inclusivity, and we find with all communities having regional engagement can be very difficult due to a variety of reasons which can cause a lack of connection. Because of this, we want to ensure that we have an active online group as well as run online conferences. We have found that this is a great way for those in regions to stay connected, especially with those that are located in main hubs. The second goal is around raising the profile of RSEs. Specifically, we have been working to show the importance of RSEs in research and innovation and have found that by actively being involved in more events and specifically through networking, we are raising these profiles. For example, at this conference, we have 4 people who have registered themselves as an occupation as an RSE, which may not sound like many, but in the scheme of developing recognition for the role, it represents the growth that RSEs are having within the industry. We can further look into the lack of RSEs being mentioned in peer-reviewed and academic journals. In an article published recently just this year in the Communications of the ACM, the authors emphasised the importance to advocate for establishing RSE as a distinct research field, highlighting its importance and significance in advancing academic work. The third goal revolves around fostering a diverse and sustainable community, specifically supporting historically excluded groups And as a steering committee, we actively ensure that our groups are diverse and inclusive. While we are in the midst of this journey, we continue to look to provide resources and mentorship for career development and believe that we can achieve this if we continue to work through the strategy. Our fourth goal revolves around a roadmap to a mature structure, namely the transition to a formal incorporated association and establishing a senior advisory board. The steering committee is actively discussing both aspects of this goal, and we hope to discuss this further as we come to the end of 2025. So if we move on to the feedback we've received from the community in 2024, we had an array from leaders forums to online conferences and in-person conferences. And this was great for us to get knowledge from individuals who are involved in the space to give us their feedback about what they want from the community, what are roadblocks for them connecting with other members, and why they've joined the community and so forth. You can see we undertook polling at RSE Australia Asia, both in a conference setting and in a leaders forum setting, eResearch Australasia and NZ RSE. And on this page we can see the responses and how many we got during the live polling from all the different conferences that related to these comments and concerns. We can see there is a huge sense of wanting to connect to the community and equally a huge need for improving funding, which I think we can all relate to at the moment. So this brings us to the current state of the RSE community, and I can speak to the membership growth, especially if we look at the graph, we can see the continuous growth since 2017 up until now. We currently have 489 members across New Zealand and Australia, and we believe that if we continue bringing awareness to the community at events such as this, we can continue to increase this number for the next coming years. The current steering committee has 7 members across New Zealand and Australia, and we're always welcoming more of those who are interested in being a part of it. We have a few communications platforms, such as Google Groups, where there is information that is sent out to our RSE group members, including job opportunities, events, and resources. We also send out a regular newsletter to keep members informed about the activities, and we're working on the usefulness of including another platform such as Slack, where members can communicate with one another with ease and to share information, and we're hoping to integrate this shortly. So previously I spoke on community engagement. The key activities the committee organise are monthly meetups in Melbourne, and we also have active participation in conferences. So in 2024 we presented at the New Zealand RSE, Australia and Asia, eResearch Australasia and ResBaz in Queensland. We're continuing to be involved in these conferences and meetups to ensure that our community engagement is ongoing. Being a part of the RSE community, however, is not without challenges, and we've seen a huge struggle to maintain and grow engagement within the current community. From feedback we've received from members is due to not being able to meet up in person, and as we discussed before, funding is a major negative, as lots would like to attend and network in person rather than just having virtual conversations. There is also a lack of sustainability of volunteers, and we know this comes down to time constraints, which has been the feedback we've received when we've had these networking events. Awareness, advocacy and recognition outside the community is also a challenge, because without the volunteers it becomes hard to then advocate for RSEs regularly. These challenges have us looking inward as a steering committee to see how we can improve these, and it's given us the opportunity to reflect and improve our strategy when we come to the end of 2025. We want to actively enhance engagement within the community, raise awareness more broadly, ensure sustainability for the volunteers, strengthen leadership and governance, and build partnerships across domains. While we are faced with these challenges, it is giving us a huge opportunity for the future to see how we can improve the community of RSEs. So we can now look to enhanced engagement within the community and how we have been enhancing engagement and how we plan to continue to do so. We have found that throughout the last few years, feedback has been that events less often but more targeted is a potential to have more engagement for individuals and can focus on particular topics that are topical to RSE, such as career advice and career trajectories. One of our key strategies is lowering participation barriers and increasing engagement, which we personally works best through a hub and spoke event model. This means hosting online speakers while supporting hybrid local hubs, making it easier for more people to join and participate. We also want to ensure that all events are cross-domain, encouraging interdisciplinary collaboration. To better support underrepresented groups, we actively seek feedback to understand and address their challenges, and we're really lucky to have one of our steering committee members, Roland Mosbergen, who is a founder of Practical Diversity and Inclusion, and not the only one, which are resources to improve diversity, equity and inclusion for organisations that want to make DEI efforts more effective and efficient. Additionally, we're exploring the potential of local meetups to discuss region-specific issues and whether domain-specific meetups could add value. To access our impact, we continuously ask ourselves, is this approach working? We stay accountable by providing these regular updates throughout reports, newsletters and presentations, and we always have minutes from our steering committee meetings. Finally, we use metrics to evaluate engagement, diversity and sustainability within the community, ensuring our efforts are effective and evolving with the needs of our members. So what am I on to? We're on to supporting career development, and mentorship is a key focus for the community, and we're actively working to enhance career outcomes for RSEs. And we're working on developing career resources that can help RSEs grow professionally and navigate their career paths. Eventually, we would like to be able to move into peer mentorship, as we see this as an essential for skill sharing. To further support career progression, we're looking into creating guides that outline example roles, essential skills and pathways across academia, research and industry. We hope to continue this work through the next few years to have the ability to provide resources to empower RSEs at all career stages and strengthen the community through shared knowledge and support. To build further engagement, we have reflected that we need to be more actively pursuing of grant applications and funding to support events, resources and scholarships that benefit the community. And by securing these grants, we can provide more opportunities for RSEs to connect, learn and grow. As we look to the opportunity of furthering our partnerships, we're focused on building connections with other member organisations in key areas and encouraging them to cross-promote RSE-AUNZ. Specifically, we're targeting fields like life sciences and digital health, physical sciences and engineering, climate modelling and weather forecasting, and humanities, arts and social sciences. Additionally, we're seeking partnerships with international RSE associations and connecting with technical and research-focused organisations globally. These collaborations will expand our network, foster knowledge exchange and amplify the influence of the RSE community. So in summary of these key points with the full information overload, let's go to the RSE community. It is a growing network of professionals that are crucial to the digital transformation of research across Australia and New Zealand. We've made significant progress in building connections, organising and being involved in events, and creating opportunities for engagement and knowledge sharing. Over the last 2 years and looking ahead to the next year, RSE-AUNZ is committed to its strategic goals. But we're not done yet, and we do have a call to action, and we would love for you to get involved. I will provide a QR code on one of my next slides, but please reach out if you would like to be the local contact for your institution or get involved by joining meetups, volunteering for leadership roles or for mentoring others. Please also come to me directly, and I'll be happy to give you my contact details and we can get in touch about opportunities within the community and how you can be part of it. Our closing thoughts: the future of research depends on the collaboration between technologists and researchers, and as RSEs, they are the core of this partnership. We play a crucial role in ensuring that tools and software drive scientific advancements, that they are accessible, reliable and effective. With ongoing support and engagement, RSE-AUNZ will continue to thrive, contributing to the digital future of research and shaping the landscape of innovation. This is the QR code to the RSE-AUNZ website, where you can join the Google groups and become involved in that way. Also, a small little plug, we will at some point have a Research Software Engineers New Zealand virtual conference. Date will be confirmed later on in the year. And if you go onto the NeSI website and are subscribed to that newsletter, there's more information going through there as well. That's all.
Thanks very much, Mercedes. Are there any questions?
Nice.
Yeah, so it sounds like you collected in a lot of feedback, and
Yes.
you mentioned how difficult it is to have a sustainable community. You mentioned funding is really important. Let's say more funding doesn't materialise. Did you get any other ideas on how you can sort of have a more sustainable community?
We have discussed just continuing virtually. It is the way it's accessible for everyone. It's easy for regional networks as well. The funding mainly is so that we can have in-person meetups, and then there can be more paid roles so we don't solely rely on volunteers. So let's see what the future holds us.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Mercedes.
Thank you.